All right, let's get into it. Time for part 2 of my November garden tour. And then that brings us into the 5th or 6th bed. There's a lot going on in here, just like all the other ones. Those are potatoes. This is where a birdhouse gourd vine was growing this summer. It just got really, really big and really out of control, so I kind of cut it back severely. So those birdhouse gourds will actually just dry right there. I don't have to do anything for that. Throughout this bed, I did plant some nice winter stuff. I have a halfway decent looking zucchini plant in there. Some different cilantro and other things are popping up in different places, kind of little volunteers from last year. And then the back of this Thai basil. Whew, this Thai basil turned into a bush. It was like one plant. I cut it back all the time and it just keeps growing back. Here's my lemon tree. As I mentioned, I cracked it out of the pot that it was originally in, but it's not really ready to be totally free because I do drag the hose through this area and I don't want to be dragging the hose alongside of it. So I have mint that I planted around there too, just to kind of add a little bit more interest and hold the soil together. The lemon tree has been growing dramatically more since I took it out of the pot. It's probably, I don't know, maybe like 5-ish feet tall. And that brings us over to bed number 6. Here is moonflowers. I have moonflowers growing on several of my arches. On this one here that comes off of this side, that one there on that side. And then I also have a grapevine. I planted this maybe like 9-ish months ago. I only got grapes once, and I think the birds got them first, but that's not a big deal. So I will eventually make stuffed grape leaves from the actual leaves that are on here, and I am looking forward to having grapes probably next year. Here I've got some stuff that I planted in the ground from seed. It's not growing very quickly because I don't think it gets very much sun in this bed. This bed really does not get hardly any sun this time of year. And then my morning glory is growing over this arch. This is something that I've been really pleased with each time I grow it. It is very hard to control. The seeds just drop everywhere and it really readily reseeds. However, the hummingbirds really love it. I'll put in some videos here of the hummingbirds enjoying it early in the daytime, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about.
When you're surrounded by darkness, open your eyes. Look around you. It's a beautiful life. Don't waste time. Open your mind. Have no regrets. Paint the sky your favorite color. Your favorite color.
And then here is what bed number 3/4 looks like from the other side with the arch there. So now we're into sort of my next generation of beds. This is bed, I guess, number 7 or 8. A lot of just random stuff going on in here. I did tuck in some winter, fall type of stuff here and there, but I do have a lot of volunteer tomatoes, zinnias, and basil in this bed. And then in addition, I do have a really productive cucumber plant over on the side. And here is that cucumber plant. There's lots of big cucumbers on here most of the time, and they are far superior to grocery store cucumbers. And unfortunately, these do have those little black bugs on the backs of the leaves as well. Neem oil has been doing pretty good with controlling them, so I go out and spray that on the cucumber plant about twice a week. And here is one of those cucumbers. They hide really well. Even though it's kind of looking large, when I did bring this inside and eat it, it didn't taste bitter or anything, so that was really great. I get about 3 or 4 cucumbers from this plant each week as of right now. The cold doesn't seem to be affecting it, which is really wonderful. And here is the arch coming off of that bed. The only thing growing on them right now is a loofah plant, which is doing pretty well considering it's not that warm out. Um, I tried to grow other stuff on there. It wasn't really growing. And then these little kind of sunflowers have been doing really well for over a year now. The tinier, cute little birds really love these and they seem to reseed really readily. So I've been trying to reseed them on other places in the garden before the birds eat all the seeds. I do have some sort of winter squash growing there. I'm not positive what it actually is, but it is growing really slow. And then another zucchini plant. This one's really struggling. And then over in the corner, I actually got a lemongrass plant recently. Here's an orange tree. The rabbits have nibbled so much on it, so that's why I have all those kind of bushes stacked around it so they can't get to it. Hopefully it'll really take off in the spring. And here is one of my absolute stars of the garden space right now. This is my royal Poinciana tree. It is the most expensive tree I've ever bought, but it was absolutely worth it. It's so beautiful and it just exploded with growth this year. I've had it now for just less than a year. It's native to Madagascar, and it's really definitely a focal point of the garden. It should get really large. It might even double in size between now and this time next year, and it should be a really excellent shade tree. I'm just so excited about this tree. It gets bigger and more beautiful every day. Here is bed number, I lost count. There's a lot of volunteers going on in here. I have this kale plant that was struggling for a little while, but it's coming in pretty good now. Here's a bunch of volunteer peppers that I'm pretty sure are just seeds from grocery store peppers. I'm not sure if they'll ripen with how cold it is. So I'm just kind of letting those peppers hang out there. They're probably like a sweet pepper, I'm pretty sure. But again, they're kind of popping up everywhere in this area of the garden. So they'll probably be more productive and exciting for me when it starts to get warm again. Here I have some different like spinach and some zinnias, I think, growing in this area. And then again, a lot of volunteer cilantro from seeds from last year. In this area, I put in, I want to say like bok choy maybe? Over here, I have a volunteer tomato, some volunteer cilantro, and a lot of clover that I planted, and a couple of carrots sort of sprinkled in this area as well. I do have my Korean pepper, which isn't doing so great, but I'm sure it'll come back when it heats up. And then some random kind of flowers and different stuff just growing in this area. Down in the bottom, I do have one surviving Scotch bonnet pepper plant. Doesn't get much sun this time of year, but hopefully when it gets warmer and sunnier, it will sort of grow faster. And here are the arches that grow between these two 11-foot beds. It's a mixture of moonflowers, loofah, and the morning glory vines. And here is the bed that it is attached to. So basil and mint kind of took over this area. I think this middle section here doesn't get much irrigation, so stuff doesn't really grow there very well. But there was a lot of melons growing over this area during the summer. Here I have also tucked in some more winter stuff, some lettuce, carrots, cabbage, that sort of thing. And then here's the other arch from the other side that extends over this end of the bed. So as you can see, the couple of arches that I have that have things growing on them are super beautiful and really add a lot of height and drama to the garden. And here is sort of the back end of the garden, which we can say has not quite reached its potential yet, but there's a lot of good space here. I'm not really sure what I might do with it, but time will tell. And now a quick transition down to my Arbequina olive tree. This is also a new addition this year. It does not need much water and it has put on quite a lot of new growth so far this year. I know it will really appreciate the sun that we'll get this spring and summertime, so I'm really excited to see how much this will grow this year, and who knows, maybe I'll even get some olives. As always, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this time in my garden, and I can't wait to show off how things are growing and doing over the rest of the fall and into the winter time this year. I'll see you in the next video.
Look around you. It's a beautiful life.